UNMISS, the United Nations peacekeeping mission in the Republic of South Sudan. Sector East Bor, 200 kilometers from the capital Juba. We are headed along the perimeter security ring to the Indian Battalion II, INDBATT II's Tactical Action Briefing and Brick Center. Nearing the end of its one-year rotation is the 7 Garhwal Infantry Battalion.
SPLA-IO और SPLA-IG के बीच पीस एग्रीमेंट साइन हुआ है, जिसके फलस्वरूप लोकल्स के बीच पीस की आशाएं बढ़ गई है, लेकिन किसी भी घटना को नकारा नहीं जा सकता। हमारा इरादा, हमारा पेट्रोल डायनामिक एयर पेट्रोल के रूप में स्थापित होगा और यूएन मैंडेट को पूरा करेगा। दुरुस्त हमारा तरीका, हमारा इंडक्शन 2 स्पेशल फ्लाइट Mi-17 हेप्टर में होगा। हर एक जवान अपना पर्सनल हथियार और ऑन वेपन एम्यूनिशन कैरी करेगा। ब्रीफिंग में किसी भी शक का कोई सवाल नहीं सर। अग्रेक खाता प्लेटून।
बोल बद्री विशाल लाल की
जय।
बद्री विशाल लाल की
जय।
बद्री विशाल लाल की
जय।
भारत माता की
जय।
भारत माता की
जय।
The next day, we boarded a UNMISS Sri Lankan Air Force operated Mi-17 for the TOB, Temporary Operations Base, Akobo. It will be developed into a permanent base by 2020.
15 Indian troops was armed.
We were soon joined by the commander of INDBATT II, Colonel Sunil Thomas, and Lieutenant Colonel Ajay Rawat, while 12 armed troops lined up and boarded the helicopter on the unpaved Bor airfield. The pilots did their final checks.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I warmly welcome you on board. Our destination is Akobo and the flight time will be 1 hour 15 minutes. We will be flying an altitude 5,500 feet.
While Colonel Thomas briefed us, the chopper took off, setting up a view of the sparse brush landscape in the area. After being abandoned following an attack in 2013, Indian peacekeepers returned to Akobo in February 2018, making the temporary operating base the only one to date in opposition-held territory. The earlier base was abandoned after 2 UNMISS Indian troops, Subedar KP Singh and Subedar Dharmesh Sangwan, were killed in an assault on their post in 2013. On board, we were able to beat the sweltering heat by opening a hatch window after takeoff. The Sri Lankan pilots then got into a display of their flying skills that literally had us in cold sweat. Banking to the left and right, diving down to fly along the treetops, we got an unbelievable view of nature and the animal kingdom. The daredevil flying gave us a glimpse of a wide variety of deer. After its independence from Sudan in 2011, national parks and reserves account for about 15% of land area, though the conflict and poaching has drastically reduced the number of elephants to less than 2,500. Colonel Thomas, the boys and the SNI team were still catching their breath when we landed at the Akobo airfield. The rotors wound down and we got off. While making our way to the nearby base, a batch of soldiers being rotated were going back to Bor on the flight we took in. Save Our Children had flown in some relief and cartons were being loaded on vehicles to be distributed. A lone bird hovered in the sky, and with a temperature above 40 degrees centigrade, all throats were parched. We walked towards the Akobo base, passing the tall locals and a kid playing football. The base has several security layers and HESCO barriers to protect the men from incidents like in 2013.
You're in one of the most secure fortresses in INDBATT.
We set out on a foot patrol to a medical camp INDBATT runs for locals. The armed scouts led the formation as we passed the local tukols, mud huts with thatched roofs, dried straw, and even UNICEF tarpaulin fences. Things have changed since 2013, and people are returning largely because of INDBATT's presence. 6 years ago, there were 43 Indian peacekeepers at the base at that time. The UN said some 2,000 ethnic Nuer youth stormed the base in Jonglai state, where over 3 dozen Dinka tribe members had sought refuge. The UN Security Council was told that while trying to start talks, the base came under sustained attack. Witnesses said the Nuers ordered all employees to come out of the base, told ethnic Dinkas to step forward, and then kill them. Over 30 civilians, including women, were also killed. A mobile tower has not been repaired since then. Now the situation is calmer, with things like Liverpool's great run in the Champions League and the English Premier League title race making it as graffiti on a wall rather than political slogans. The ethnic clashes here in 2013 among Dinka followers of President Salva Kiir and Nuer supporters of former Vice President Riek Machar mirror the political divide between the two that has South Sudan still stumbling over a peace deal signed between them in September 2018. As part of the deal, a national unity government was to be set up by May 12, 2019, but has been pushed back another 6 months. The country gained independence from Sudan in 2011, but descended into civil war 2 years later. The 2018 deal is supposed to find a lasting solution to the conflict that could still threaten the world's youngest country. The deal provides for the integration of government and opposition forces into a national army by May 12th, when Mr. Machar was to return as one of 5 vice presidents in a new unity government ahead of elections in 2022. The merger of the security forces has been pushed back by 6 months now, with President Kiir's pre-transitional government still in charge. Over 400,000 people are estimated killed, with over 4.4 million South Sudanese fleeing their homes since 2013. It's this conflict that peacekeepers are trying to prevent by their presence, giving people confidence to return.
A lot has changed this year. In fact, I myself now, every time I come, like even after a month, there's a huge change. It's just like Delhi.
As we entered the gates of the youth center, we saw a line of mothers in colorful clothing, babies in their arms, making a beeline outside a makeshift tent with Major Amandeep, INDBATT II's medical officer at the Akobo base, attending to them. The tent flaps billowed in the hot afternoon sun as the doctor listened, diagnosed, and prescribed free medicine to the locals. The kids were also curious, with a boy shooting an imaginary gun like he would anywhere else in the world. Except surreally, this is a society driven apart by violence. TOB in Akobo was re-established in February 2018 by the Indian Battalion to help protect civilians and facilitate the delivery of humanitarian assistance, making it the first UN peacekeeping presence in IO or internal opposition-held territory. Initially set up with a light presence and regular foot patrols all flown in and out on rotation, INDBATT II now has 4 ICVs or infantry combat vehicles to build confidence among the locals. The security presence allows humanitarian agencies access to the locals, and INDBATT has its own outreach programs that build trust with the community. Nyawal Pyok, a paramedic working at a hospital in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, has returned to help her local community.
As you see them here, the kids are suffering, like they don't have enough medical and they don't have enough education or something. So you can also observe them from here. They are really suffering. So that's why you are here today, and we need your help more and more.
We tried to help the population to just cure their disease to whatever extent we can do, and obviously with our effort the rapport which we could manage to build here, it helped us a lot.
That rapport also visible in the excitement at the youth center as solar lamps that can be used for 3 days were handed out to locals, most of whom have no electricity. Light and peace. That's good for all on the ground, including the security in charge, the internal opposition's Major Kirlam Boka.
When the enemies come here, they bring a lot of change, like development. So we are real happy with the INDBATT Battalion II for the electricity they put on our main roads. So this is one sign of the development. So it gives hopefully to the most communities that peace is already here.
I don't have a life. Now life is good for me.
Since they are coming, there is the humanitarian are operating freely. That's one. There are signs of peace currently now. So all this is that they have come with a good luck actually. Yeah.
She has come to trust these doctors because of course you must be having your own beliefs in natural medicine.
I'm very
happy with the doctors who give us this medicine. So when they stop to give us medicine, many people get suffering. So now they come back, we are feeling okay. We love them all.
Ruada Nishan Bangwat's 5-year-old daughter, Nyan Singh Nyuat, was fascinated with the SNI mic. We left the medical camp, ready to take the chopper back to Bor after a day on the road with INDBATT II. India has contributed more UN peacekeeping troops, suffered more casualties and participated in more UN missions than any other country. Nowhere is that more exemplified than here at INDBATT II's Akobo patrol base. Its uniqueness lies in its history, the fact that it has now great operational challenges and the hope that it could bring in the future.